Well, howdy, all you collector car fans. This is once again Jason, the owner and founder of Southern Bush Motorsports, and we are here with our other company, Southern Bush Consulting. Now, everybody wanted to see video with my car videos and stuff, so here we are. I came out of retirement, and I had a very important client asked to take a look at the 69 Charger RT for him. Really cool car. It just happened to be here in Ontario with me, but I wanted to do something different. It's time to do something different with Southern Bush Consulting and Southern Bush Motorsports, so that's why you're seeing this video in the corner here. Now, this car was an original, well, owner, it would be original owner car. It was the grandson that, or the son that owned the car. And these are the actual pictures of the advertisement of the car. There's the father with the car. He bought it brand new in Ontario, Canada, 69 440 RT. Now, I was told that the car was restored. This is where it becomes crucial on why you get these cars inspected, for goodness sakes. Because when I got out there, the car was beautiful. My wife was with me, and he pulled the car to the car, and pulled the car to the garage, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I told her, I said, look, before we get there, things aren't always what they seem, so I have to do my due diligence and check these things out. So these, again, are still the original pictures of the car. It really did look nice in the pictures, and it was worth taking the effort to go out there and take a look at it, but things sure changed when I got out there. This is a video, so now we have video in Southern Bush Motorsports, and this is the video of it coming out of the garage, and it sounded really good. I don't want to speed these videos up because I want people to actually see what happened as part of the actual consultation and an inspection. Now, I'm not going to be on the field doing inspections anymore, but this is where Southern Bush Motorsports is. I will consult. If you're looking at buying a car, my office looks like NASA. I have 55-inch screens, TVs all over the place, where I can stand and inspect vehicles and look at pictures and stuff, plus the wording that they choose to use. I'm telling you right now, I can debunk a lot of stuff. And there's a reason why I came out with Southern Bush Motorsports and the consulting part of it, because I can see a lot of people are getting ripped off. I can see it plain as day. It's actually pretty scary. So this is me looking over the car. I can already see a few things. Here's the thing. I was told this car was restored 20 years ago. Well, 20 years ago, some things were done that probably shouldn't have been done all the time. One of them was Bondo. Bondo is a kind of a paste that goes over when you connect a body panel together, and you got to cover up some weld marks to make it look smooth. You use Bondo. What a lot of people did back then is, instead of replacing the whole body panel, they went ahead and just mudded the whole thing up. Put mud all over. Mud is the Bondo. The easiest way to detect that, even though when you're looking at this car, you can't see it. If you don't have someone like me standing beside you, you would not see this. There is one other part of the video you're going to see where I have a magnet hidden in my hand, and I wait until the guy's on the other side of the car to do it. And one thing about Bondo is a magnet won't stick to it. So if you've got a whole bunch of Bondo on that car, and it's got paint over top of it, that magnet's not going to stick to it. That's a pretty good indication that this car wasn't done right. Now, I'll give you my opinion of the car when I'm all done, but you can see I'm underneath the car. What I'm doing right here is I'm checking to see if the motor, which is actually, I probably should have went behind the wheel because it's a little easier to see it that way, but I'm checking to see if the motor's in the right spot, if the motor's been out of the car. I'm checking to see the VIN number. There's a pad on the engine that's got the last 6 digits of the VIN number, which will coordinate with the windshield VIN number and the VIN number stamped on other parts of the car to make sure that that motor is the one that came from the factory with. That's also important because there's a big price difference between a car that came with the motor and a car that's had the motor replaced, even when they're this nice. It's a big difference. And also on the transmission, there's a flat pad that has the last 6 digits of the VIN number, so that's what I'm trying to confirm right now, that car that we're looking at right there is actually a numbers matching motor, transmission, and rear end, which is in most cases it is. But if you have this car, let's take this car for an example right here, 69 Charger RT. It's a car that's been restored. Let's take both examples. A car that is numbers matching, a car that isn't numbers matching. Okay, so this car right here, the guy wanted 60 grand for this car, and it's a numbers matching car. Fair price, but in my opinion, I'll tell you what what needs to be done to the car. But if this car was the exact same car without the number transmission and motor, I wouldn't give him 40 grand for it because it didn't come from the factory, and that is a big deal. If it didn't come with the original motor transmission. Rear end's not that big of a deal, but there I'm looking at the VIN number of the windshield. I'm pointing out, that's the fender tag. The last 6 numbers there, the 290, that tells me the fender tag came with the car windshield number, and there's the 290 stamped on the VIN. So this car was an actual RT, and the radiator support that I just showed you there matches to the fender tag, and it matches to the number that's in the windshield. Now I'm looking at the, underneath the weather stripping is a hidden VIN number. That hidden VIN number is the last 6 numbers, that 290, and I'm not going to take this guy's weather stripping up, but I'm feeling for it right there. Sometimes, not always, if you kept that weather stripping off, there's 6 numbers there, the last 6 of the VIN number sitting underneath that weather stripping. That will confirm that the car is what it is, that it's a body matching car, where the fender tag, the VIN number, and the body stamp numbers are all real. This is a real RT. Now I'm getting underneath the car to check out the VIN number on the rear end, because to have a truly numbers matching car, there was a VIN number stamped on the engine, the transmission, and the rear end. And that's what I'm looking for. And you can see I'm taking pictures underneath there, because when I crawled underneath that car, it got a little weird. It got really weird. This car had definitely been taken apart before, but I don't believe the car had been all the way taken apart. So that's when things get really interesting, because a lot of body work had been done on the car. I can see it underneath the car, but this car wasn't totally taken apart. You know, now I'm sus. I'm suspect on what's actually going on with this car. So I want to get into this trunk area and see what's been done to the quarter panels, if the work was done right. Now, we're looking at the interior of the car here. You know, the guy had seat covers on this from day one. I guess he got them at the dealership, and you can tell. The seats don't need to be recovered. They're beautiful. The inside, this guy took care of this car. No question about it. The car's nice. But that's not what we're paying for. We're paying for really nice, but numbers matching, and that the car was done right. Now, after my inspection on this car, I said I'm going to tell my answer to what I thought of this car at the end. But I found some pretty weird stuff. Some stuff that if you're just a car collector or getting into the business, you would not see. Not that this guy was trying to rip anybody off. It's a beautiful car. But stuff that he didn't even know about. He did not know that this stuff was going on with this car. He knew that there were some issues with the car, that it wasn't perfect, but you know, the car ran and drove just great. When I went out for a test drive, it went like a bat out of hell. But at the end of the day, there's some major issues done, and that's one of them pointing out right there. Underneath that vinyl top, starting to bubble with rust. So Lord only knows what else is going on underneath that car. You know, and I'm looking at the vinyl top right there on the pillar support. It's got some rust on it. And there's some stuff that's happened over the years that somebody with not the experience that I have could really get burned. Now, that's underneath the car. That's not supposed to be like that. The car was originally undercoated, but there is some very serious issues with this car. There's some holes that weren't fixed. You can see right there that the frame rails and stuff's good on it, but here's my overall opinion on this car. This was a beautiful car. It was a 1969 Dodge Charger, numbers match. Look at that frame. There's another part of the frame that's rotted out right there. But with no question whatsoever, my final call, there's the inner quarter panel that's been welded incorrectly and then mudded over. My final consultation with the guy that wanted to buy this car is that this is a true 1969 Dodge Charger RT 440. Look at all that mud right there. This is a beautiful car, but this car needs to come apart. So you got the 60 grand it wants for this car, the 40 or 50 grand is going to take the car back apart again. Maybe not the interior and engine compartment, but the body needs to be fixed in a big way. So now you got yourself up to 100 grand. Is this car worth 100 grand? No, it's not a Survivor. I mean, by the time you're done the car in 2-3 years, it'd be worth it. But my final consultation was this car is worth the 60 grand. If you know that the car needs to be taken apart again, that's going to cost you another 40 grand. If you just want a driver car, heck yeah, this car is worth 60 grand. Get it. But it's got to come apart again to look right. Look at all that underneath there. Well, thanks for coming out and checking out the video with Southern Bush Motorsports and Southern Bush Consulting, and we'll see you again soon.